Slerf, I've been following Slerf in depth over the last how many weeks or months or whatever. So yesterday I had this idea. Of, let me just clear my lines now because they're quite messy. I had this idea of some sort of ABCDD. Obviously it didn't happen. You know, again, this is the thing. Ideas are ideas, but the reality is always different. I don't think my idea was necessarily bad, just simply because we are looking at some kind of correction. What kind of correction it is? Well, it's a formation of lots of A, B's and C's, and Elliott waves and corrections are somewhat subjective. While I had this going up and it went up, you know, so I think most people, if they would have taken profit, if they longed with me yesterday, most people would have. Some people wouldn't have, and they probably just got invalidated, and they're probably annoyed. Let me just kind of look at this again, because it's not easy. It's really not easy to predict the future. You have to try, and you know, hopefully 1 or 2 times you might get lucky. Let me just delete this and start over, just so it's a bit clearer. And obviously I've got fib time is really important as well. I see that there is some kind of synergy to the timings. There's your 5 waves up to there. Then you have your kind of A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. So let's carry this idea. So that's kind of your A, B, C here. Potentially A, B, C. But let's get rid of that. Let's just keep on counting A, B, C's for now. A, B, C. A, B, C. I don't know. I still think we're correcting. Like I mean, this looks quite impulsive right now. Could this be the end? It's coming to end at a C. Yeah. So that's kind of what you want. That's where you want to end, on a C at the bottom, based on A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. So if this was in a WXY, it would be W X. Not really. How would that work out? No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You kind of need to go to 9, and we're on 6 right now. Could this just be something else? This is quite impulsive right now, actually, just looking at it. Could this be the impulse? Could this be the end? This is the question. I don't know. I don't think so, but I don't know. Let me do this again. Say that was the A, B, C. And then how would we do this? ABC, ABC, and maybe. And this is the question: could this be like this? Don't know. ABC. So that's your W, X, Y, like that. That's basically what I'm. And effectively, A, B, C, A, B, C, A, B, C. Yeah. You just ignore all these zigzags here. Well, I'm not ignoring them. I'm just kind of saying that was your first wave, your first A. This whole thing was one in its own. This whole thing was just one kind of corrective pattern buffer. Yeah. And so that was your first wave, and then you had this kind of second one, and then you had the third one. And then these are just A, B, C, A, B, C. So if that was correct, then this would be potentially, this is definitely going to be impulsive anyway, because you end on the C at the bottom. And so the question here is, are we now beginning the impulse, or are we just doing another ABC? And it's very hard to know. This was definitely a good place to buy, just looking at the corrective count. Let me just do this as well. Let's try this one. And try this as well. Let's have a look at these waves here. 1 to the 3 to the 4. The 2 gave us that pivot. I can't see anything here. I do see that this from here to here, 1 to 1 would be here. 618 is there. We have to see how this plays out. Yeah. I'm still going to be counting ABCs. And let's just see how this one plays out. It's definitely not the ABCDE that I had in mind. So you can kind of scrap that idea. This one, you scrap that. And you naturally, if it's not one thing, and it's going to be probably something else. And that's always how it works. It's not something, it's something else. And so what we have to do is try and figure out what else it could be, and see if you get it right, then that can give you an edge, a real good edge. Okay, looking at this volume area, probably the price is going to find resistance into that volume area. What I'm going to do again is some kind of volume pool. Let's get rid of this EW now. And do a volume pool. I'm going to do a couple of volume pools now. This is the kind of the current range that we're in, the overall range. You can clearly see that the value area, you can see the value area, you can see the point of control still up there in the highs. That's at the daily level. So naturally that will offer resistance. That will offer resistance. Point of control, daily level, there's going to be resistance there. Let me also do, and nothing changes regarding our invalidation, which is still this low here at about 2686. Nothing changes with regards to that. Let me just do the volume profile from the move to current. So still the point of control is in the highs. We're back into that whole range here, you see that? And we're back into this range here, which is this upper range. And then we just have to get back into that previous range. Then we have to flip the point of control to support. Have a look at the volume as well. Quite big volume now on this green candle. That's never good. A big expansive candle with green volume. If the price falls underneath this candle, this 15-minute candle, then it will go down. That's what usually happens when you get volume candles and the price comes above them. You see this, I'll give you an example. You see this red volume, this high volume red candle here. See that? As soon as the price comes right back above that candle, look what happens. You get an explosive move. Yeah. So you've got to be wary of these high volume candles. If the price reverses back above them, then the price can really fly the other direction. It's possible. Get rid of these now. Let me just do probably no changes, but let me just do an overall volume pull as well. Point of control is still at the highs there. Yeah, there's a high volume node here now, see? And that definitely will need to be flipped into support right at the daily level. Right. So we have our liquidity levels. We have our daily level. Get rid of that now. That daily level has been washed. It's been, but then there's a new one lower down. See that? So I think the first resistance is going to be there, that daily level. How does that line up with our volume? The high volume node is just above it. So that daily level is at about 338. 3380, and you got a high volume node slightly above it, 3420, 21. It's going to be quite strong resistance there. If today's candle closes green, then not only will you have a daily level there underneath us, and so potentially that's a developing daily level here. I call it developing, and also we have a developing monthly level here. So if the monthly candle closes green, we'll have a monthly level where I've got this marked out as developing monthly. And so if you look at the monthly candles now, have a look at them. Yeah, you can see that if we close green, you'll have a strong liquidity level here at the bottom where the red and green is here, right there at 3023. That will be a strong support level. It should be it should hold. Yeah, it should hold. And you know, we may just go up. It depends on how people buy. If people buy at market at monthly close, it will just go up. It won't come back down. If the price can't go up, then it will have to come back down in search of liquidity. That's how it always is. And the first kind of area of interest here will be that monthly level. That I've marked it developing monthly. Here, it's just the assumption that today is going to end green. This month is going to end green. It's just an assumption. Obviously, if today closes underneath that, it'll be a red month, and so that monthly level won't exist. And then looking at the weekly candle, obviously, look, we've got quite a bullish reversal pattern forming here. The 3-day candle, you see it's come back down into some nice areas for some sort of back test. And today we're having a really nice buy up. We've taken the liquidity from the previous candle low, the previous day low. That's kind of what you want to see. Clear the liquidity from the previous candle and move up. Okay, so this is quite a nice bullish response that we're experiencing right now. and you know, nothing changes in terms of invalidation. It's still right here at the bottom of this wick on this daily candle. As long as we're not invalidated, then we could be seeing consolidation continue for some sort of impulsive move, the next impulsive move. That's kind of what I'm looking for. So if we do end up green today, we're going to have some quite strong support at around 30 cents in that kind of area. And simply because of the monthly level, this kind of developing daily level, which will be a daily level, and potentially also when I'm looking at volume levels, you've got this high volume node underneath us, which hasn't been touched yet. That's at 2960. So yesterday in my stream, I said, you know, so 2 days ago, we're up here. I said we need to go down, and, you know, we're up at 3435, whatever. We went down yesterday morning, and we were here, and I was saying, okay, now it's time to buy. I'm going to start building along. And that's what I've been doing. I've just been building along down here. I'm actually in a really good profit at the moment. Just looking at the price action. Oh, wow, I am in profit. And the way I've been playing this is obviously, you know, my invalidation is as I said here, I haven't taken a full position, even though I could have. And what I want to do, rather than just kind of scale into weakness, I don't like to scale into weakness. I like to scale into strength. That's what I like to do. And so every time I see some kind of significant strength, I'll scale in. And my validation's down here. So obviously if the price goes up now and it starts going down like that, yeah, I'll have an opportunity to increase my position size. And then you just have to make sure that whatever your position size and whatever your average position entry, that your invalidation, if you do get invalidated, that you're not over positioned so that you're losing, I mean, in my mind, 1%. But obviously, you know, people like to gamble in the Bitcoin bull market. And so, you know, this is a perfectly acceptable gamble, so to speak. The conditions are right for a move to the upside. The hard part is always the invalidation. When you get like a 5-wave move like this, you have a really easy invalidation because of the Elliott wave rules. Yeah, obviously people, the lower it goes, the more risk to reward, the better ROI you have. But again, the less bullish it will look, because you're losing levels, you're losing important levels which needs to hold. Okay, so that's kind of why it's a good idea to create a position and build a long position. And you don't have to go crazy, but if the price now kind of, in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, if we can get back up there, that would be a good place to add, you know, wouldn't it? And so I would add, wouldn't I? I think about adding. That will bring my average position higher. But and then other people would say, well, maybe you should take profit. Well, that's also, you know, it depends. Like, it depends on your time frame. It depends what kind of trade plan you're looking at. Are you looking to scalp? Are you looking to catch the next big move? Are you looking to build a position for the next big move? And or are you just happy with $200-300 whatever dollars, $1,000 worth of profit, and that's it? So that's the thing. You're risking unrealized profit for future unrealized profit. That's what you're doing. As long as you don't lose money. So obviously you don't want to lose money, but you have to risk some to gain some. You know, you can't just whatever you risk, you have to see that as loss, and then you have to try and maximize the return. In this situation, it'd be interesting to see what happens, and I'll be also interesting to see if we do form. I'm wondering actually if we do form some kind of extended flat here. I am wondering, yeah. If we get like some kind of impulse up here, some kind of move up here, and then come back down to here for the real move, for the actual move. That will be the impulsive move. That's kind of what I'm looking for, an impulsive move. But then the other thing you have to bear in mind is you have really strong resistance at 4.41 cents and a half, 41.5 cents. And I'm just thinking to myself, how do we impulse up when you have such strong resistance in the way? That's the question in my mind. How do we do that? Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know how we do that. I kind of think we have to somehow clear the liquidity first and then get a drop, a fast drop like that. And could that be, so this is the thing. So when you're looking at Elliott waves, let me just get rid of all these corrections so it's easier to see. To get fast moves up, you have to have no volume. You have to have no liquidity. Yeah, that's really how you move up quite fast. There has to be no liquidity, nothing to resist. Yeah, and why do I not have? Actually, pushing. I used to. And so when you have like some sort of 5 ways, actually maybe I can just do that. Yeah. No. Two correction. Let me just draw it again because it will just be easier. So when you have some kind of 5 wave move here, something like that. That becomes your 1. Now we're looking at some kind of correction, which is your 2. Yeah, as long as we don't get invalidated, we're looking for a 2. And you see, it'll be very difficult for the price to impulse now. Why? Because you're coming into resistance. Daily level, fresh daily level, the fresh high volume node. Yeah, that's the problem. And so it becomes difficult to impulse, doesn't it? It becomes difficult. You're coming into resistance, you're coming into trap liquidity, and naturally it's going to require volume to get through that. It's possible with volume to clear that resistance, but then you would need an increase in volume. Okay, so if you don't see an increase, and that's what you need to see, you need to see an increase in volume to get through those levels if we're going to impulse away. That's going to require FOMO. This move not yesterday, just this week, this was quite FOMO-y, wasn't it? It was very FOMO-ish, or it was a massive pylon. And we need to experience that kind of FOMO behavior. Sometimes it's better to go up and clear liquidity first, and then have a sharp drop, and that will give you the opportunity to go back up quite quickly. So in the same way that the price, you see how the price here came down quite easily, is because the price came up quite easily. Yeah, and so when you get these fast moves to the upside, you can also get fast moves to the down. The same thing here. You have this fast move to the upside, and you have this fast move to the downside, because as the price goes up and down, if it's not creating support, and the way for the price to create support are basically candles. So when you're going up, you want to create red candles, and those red candles can offer support as the price comes back down. If you're going up and you're just creating green candles, then the price is always going to struggle to find support as it comes back down. So as the price comes back down, it's looking for market structure, and it's usually those red candles that provide that. And as the price is going down, it's the reverse. So now as the price is going up, yeah, where is it going to find resistance? It's going to find resistance in green candles. So you see here, as the price came back up, where did it find resistance? Here, the first green candle that it encountered, it found resistance. Yeah, so it's the same thing but in reverse. And so naturally, as the price goes up, the structure, market structure, becomes problematic, because it's effectively trapped liquidity that needs to be cleared. And so if anyone is kind of underwater, or if anyone is looking to capture profit, then they're going to place their orders on these little candles, these green candles. Okay, and so if you want an impulsive move, it did not always, you know, it's like, look here, when we impulsed up, we just sliced through lots of kind of green candles. It was a bit impulsive. It was probably big. It started with some kind of short squeeze, to be honest with you. That's usually what happens. You have some kind of big short squeeze or a big short closes, and then you have longs enter. Usually that's how it begins. And you need the same kind of behavior here. You need like a big short to clear the liquidity first, and then longs would enter. But in any case, if we want to go up, we need volume, and we possibly need shorts either to close first, and then we need longs to enter to push the price up. I mean, could you, like, I'm just trying to imagine if the price, let's just say for the sake of argument, this is the bottom of the correction. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just kind of making this up. It's all speculative. It's all entertainment, really. Oh, we haven't actually tested the gold. We've kind of front run the golden pocket twice. That's bullish in itself. It's bullish to front run levels. And see that we've front run the golden pocket. If that is our kind of our final resting place for this correction, if that's our low, I don't know. Let's say for the sake of argument, our bullish impulse is about to begin now, or we're in it now. Who knows? No one really knows. But then you could do a trend-based fib from here to here. Let's just say to here, somewhere here, maybe here where the bullish begins. That would give a 1-to-1 extension, would bring us right into 41 cents, 41 and a half. That would, if now we were kind of impulsing, if this was the first impulsive wave, yeah, it is possible, because when I counted, I don't know, I can't tell you, but when I've counted these corrective moves, we've come to an end at C. So that's kind of where you want to end, on the C at the bottom. So it is possible. We have to see the impulses, and so what you would want to see now, if we are about to impulse, this is actually already looking quite impulsive at the moment. Not as crazy impulsive as this, but this is how it begins. You see, that's how it began. You see how it began, and then you got the volume, and then you got the first consolidation, and then you got the next volume, the second consolidation, and then the third increase in volume. So if this is the first impulse, I don't know, but let's just say it is, and we go up here and we have our let's say this is wave 1, we have our wave 2 correction here, and we don't get rejected from this area. We can kind of somehow flip this area into support, and then we had our second impulsive wave. Then a 1-to-1 of that impulsive move would take us all the way up to 41 and a half. That would be correct. And so therefore, what you'd be looking at here, if this was to happen now, you'd be looking at a 1 something here, 2. That'll be a 1-to-1, 3, and technically then you wouldn't be allowed by the rules of Elliott waves to come underneath this pivot that's been put in, and then you'll be looking for a 5 wave. The 5 wave doesn't have to be extended or crazy. It could just be to take the highs of that third wave. This you'd have a correction here, wouldn't just be down like that, but then the rules of this correction are that you can't come underneath. So you'd basically be looking at, again, the same idea. Excuse me. You'd be looking at 5 waves up, some kind of ABC, the correction that doesn't break the Elliott wave rules. If you do break the rules, Well, we'll have to look at that if that happens. If we do break the rules, then we are looking at something else. Okay, and that's the same thing goes with this kind of corrective move now that we're experiencing now. Yeah, even though I'm still imagining up, if you know, I still think we're in a correction, but I mean, who knows? If we suddenly do start going down and take out this low, that completely invalidates this move as a wave, as a wave one, and then you'd be looking for something else. And it's the same goes with any kind of move. Yeah, if we do have some kind of move now, if you have a move now and then you just fall back underneath that pivot, that's the top of the one, then this wasn't your move, then this wasn't your wave 3. It could have been, it would probably be some kind of extended flat then because the rules are broken. Yeah, and that's what you would expect. You'd say, well, it'd be bullish, excuse me, because you've gone up and cleared a bunch of liquidity, but at the same time you're not in the impulsive wave 3 because you've come back underneath the top of the one, and therefore you're probably looking at some kind of more extended correction. So it's all kind of like based on what happens in the future, and it's, you know, with Elliott waves, it doesn't, I don't know if it helps. It doesn't always help. Sometimes it does. When you see 5 waves clearly impulsively, of course it helps, because it helps you to not buy, helps you to sell, which is what we did a couple of days ago. And now here, it also does help because it means we have a clear invalidation. So there is help. But again, no one really knows. If the price goes down, we're invalidated. And if the price goes up, we need to see 5 waves. Yeah. If we're not seeing 5 waves, then we're still in some kind of ABC correction. And if we do see 5 waves, then whatever happens, we can't come back underneath the top of 1. Yeah, because that will be the 4. The 4 can't come underneath the top of 1. So we have some very defined rules which allow us, which give us a little bit of help when we're trying to buy and sell. But nothing beats liquidity levels when it comes in terms of resistance and support, and obviously Fibonacci retracement. And so when you get maximum confluence, like right now, like we're pushing up a little bit, I'm struggling now, so you can tell that people have taken profit. There's a lot of volume coming in now, which is good, but you know, we're going to come into a high volume node now, a daily level now. I don't expect the price to just walk through that area. And is this impulsive? Are we experiencing some kind of impulsive move? Potentially, yeah. I mean, look how it started here. And that was your, you know, that's what you want to see. You want to see like, bah, like a crazy impulse. That's really what you want to see now. An impulsive, explosive, like FOMO, basically. That's what you want to see, FOMO. If I do a fib retracement from that top pivot to this bottom, again, look, you've got the golden pocket, you've got the daily level, you've got a high volume node. It's pretty strong resistance, huh? And you're also just kind of filling this gap here. So I think that's a good place. Whatever happens, I think that's a good place to take profit. And if you don't want to short, then don't. But if you do want to short, that's potentially a good place to short. And this is the thing, like, I don't have a problem in imagining the price go down here, go up there, and have one more attack at the lows. I don't have a problem in that idea. That's kind of what I had before yesterday when I had this idea of the ABCD. Obviously, sorry, the ABCD. But obviously, you know, it's just one idea of what could happen. It didn't go exactly according to my timings, but I still think that would be okay. It would be perfectly okay. You know, a drop on Saturday to go up, that would be perfectly acceptable, especially if we find resistance here, which is what I'm expecting. Daily level, golden pocket, high volume nodes. Why not? Why would there not be a reaction here? So that's kind of where I'm at the moment. I'm still counting these corrective moves, but ultimately what I'm probably still looking for right now is this. I don't know, but it would be nice for the price to go all the way back down to capture liquidity from this area before we have an explosive move to the upside, especially after we've been able to clear the liquidity from this area. That would be nice. I don't know if this is going to go up in a straight line again. If it goes up like this, it could come down for another attack. Again, ABCs, that's what you're looking at. ABC, ABC, ABC. So it's good to count the ABCs, because that will help you avoid a little bit of trouble. If you're not sure, just draw ABCs. You know, could this be some kind of a whatever, BC, another ABC down? Possible. You'd want a fast move down, to be honest with you. Once you get a rejection up there, nice fast move down. Those fast moves downs are nice because then we can have a fast move up. Yeah, and you could be looking at something like that. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm still in the same kind of idea, but maybe it's not. We just have to see how this plays out. All right, I don't think that we're going to pass through that area easily. So I'd like to see that area touched, and I'd like to see the price come all the way back down. But let's see what happens. Right. That's kind of Slerf. I'm gonna chuck these into my put it all together and hide it. Let's hope we go into our target. It'd be nice. I wouldn't mind shorting that, to be honest with you. Any questions on that? Sorry, it's kind of a bit long-winded. I appreciate that. I've had people say to me, make your Slerf video updates shorter. What the hell? You can't please everyone. Yeah, I'm not making any money from this. Not getting sponsored, nothing. No sponsorships, no money. I'm just having fun. Look what he says. Long video is too boring. Better make short and beneficial. This guy. He's bored. What's his bio? Interested in digital currency since 2017. Researcher and knowledgeable. But he's bored. So I'm quite boring. I apologize. But he did repost that. So I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, analysis takes time. You can't just analyze, and you have to kind of look at everything. Look at all these tools. You have to use all these tools. It takes time. It's not a straightforward process. You've got to look at the charts, keep on looking, comparing with other charts, looking at fractals, you know, sharing notes, looking at what other people say. It's sorry. So the other thing I've done in the past is some kind of speed fan. When you're using a speed fan, you have to use the regular chart. And the speed fan is this one, the fib speed resistance fan. So I'm going to do that to this pivot low here. Okay, so I can't see any kind of, there's nothing here to tell me that we're into any resistance. You see here the 50% we found resistance here. But nothing here. All right, that's good to see. With that pivot, you can move it. No, we've got no speed fan resistance there. that I can see. That's good. That helps. We can do it the other way as well. See? So you do it the other way and you actually do find that we are into some sort of resistance. You see that? This is from here. Chile, how's it going? Here to here. Okay. So you can actually, it's quite interesting, these speed fans. You can see that there was support, and then resistance. So we've come underneath the last one, the 886. And it's interesting because look here, we've clearly found resistance into the 886. You see that? It's amazing, huh? And so naturally, you might expect us to continue to find resistance until we can flip it into support. If you do flip it into support, that's really nice. That would be a big change in development for some kind of move up. I'm not saying it's going to go up to in a straight line, but you know, I'll keep an eye on this. This is quite interesting because it's clearly reacting to the price. Well, the price is clearly reacting to this. So let me just, I like that. So I'll keep that. And then the other thing I'm going to do, I'll go back to the log chart. I like GAN fans as well. They're quite nice. So let me just pull that. Again, with GAN, it's pivot to pivot. You can just try out different pivots. Again, you see that? That's quite interesting. You see that? A little bit of, we're kind of trying to find, we're trying to get past the 4-1 here. Almost tried, almost succeeded, and now we're kind of back into a little bit of resistance. So again, the same idea here. We kind of tried to get past and couldn't, and then now we're down, and then we're back above. Same thing happened here. See that? And then obviously this first one is all the way down to the first pivot. You can move that to there. You move it to this one. See, it was front run there, so we haven't actually even touched it. And I think these GANs are quite, especially this one. I think this is quite important because to get into price discovery, we're going to have to get through these lines. That's usually how it is. And our last pivot is the last one that probably is relevant is this one, because you can see it's kind of front run into this 2-1. So potentially, if we do go up, you could struggle until you can get to the top. Yeah, so potentially these GAN fans will offer resistance until they're flipped. The thing is, I'm using this on the log. I like to compare them with, yeah, you see on the normal chart, it doesn't work. And that's the thing, because the other one, which is my fib speed resistance fan, it's on the normal chart, not on the log chart. So you have this, it's hard to see excuse me, confluence between the both, but we already know that there is confluence here because we've come into resistance with 2, because that one is on the log, it's actually against it. So we should have quite a big explosive breakout if we can break out to the upside. Okay. Any other observations? Well, I mean, this monthly candle is an interesting one because it could go up, it could go down. Yeah. Holding resistance there, and the support is arbitrary. It's an arbitrary support. If we close green, you create a brand new monthly level, and that becomes a liquidity level for support, and you naturally have to flip that to go back down. So actually it's good. If we close green now, that'll be quite strong, and potentially you could reverse potentially, You could imagine the next candle to be green. It's possible. What else is there? This weekly candle is looking quite bullish. If we can close above the previous week high, then potentially we're looking at a bullish continuation, reversal, and then continuation. And so that's going to be an important area of interest, this previous week high, where the price closed. If we can close above there, that would be quite good to see what happens. And obviously, the more bullish this candle is, the better. If we close above the previous week high, then you're basically looking at an engulfing weekly reversal candle, bullish engulfing, yeah, because you had a red candle and you've basically engulfed the red candle with a green candle. It just has to close higher than that wick. That'll be really bullish. It'll be a bullish reversal. In the context of what I'm seeing, this whole thing would be quite bullish to see. With that red monthly, green monthly candle, with this, what I'm seeing now, potentially we could be having some. It could look quite bullish. And as I've said before, this is like coiling up, isn't it? It's all coiling up. You just can't ignore major resistance levels like 41.5. Okay. All right. That's Slerf. What else is interesting about Slerf? And so I've been talking about this a lot, is comparing Slerf to Bitcoin. Yeah. And naturally, if you suddenly, and this is the key. Yeah. Like I just want to show you here in this current price action, just this is today. This is this morning, yeah. You see here, Bitcoin is going down here. And at exactly the same time, what's Slerf doing? It's going up. Do you see that? So you've got Bitcoin going down. Slerf is going up. You have a little fake out at the lows here on Bitcoin. And Slerf doesn't make a lower low. It just actually makes a higher low. You see that? Very different price action between Slerf and Bitcoin, yeah. And that is your entry. That's your forewarning. That's your pre-warning of what's about to happen. Because then what happens is Slerf pumps and Bitcoin pumps. They both pump together. Slerf is leading Bitcoin. While Bitcoin is showing weakness, Slerf is showing strength. Okay. And it's the same in reverse. If Bitcoin is strong and Slerf is showing weakness, then it gives you a clue that they both want to go down. When you see that Slerf is looking strong and Bitcoin is looking weak, then the reverse. And then obviously when they're just following each other, they're following each other. You know, so you can't make head nor tails of it if they're just following each other. You can see here Bitcoin was looking quite strong. Slerf wasn't in comparison, and you see it led to Slerf going down, yeah. And so that was the clue. And then actually Slerf went up, but it's just it can give you a little bit of a pre-warning as to what's about to happen. It's just good to keep an eye on that. If anyone kind of uses that idea and trades and makes money, don't forget me. I'm still here. If you discovered this idea through my channel, through my videos, and if it's helped you, then I appreciate some love. Love is always good. What else is there to see? Yeah, it's good to compare, right? It's really good to compare these two. That's Slerf. I don't really have anything else to say about Slerf. I was probably a really long, boring video for most people, but who cares? Fuck you. If you don't want to watch, don't watch. Go somewhere else. Yeah. I don't see many people doing videos on Slerf. So, all right.